What's going on, everybody? We're taking a look at SPES heavies today. So anyways, received some SPES heavies today from UPS. We're in the midst of the COVID-19 lockdown. So we picked these up in a size small. These are the 2.0 with the upgraded thumbs. You can already tell size small is going to be good for my hands. But you can see they're not big hands. But really no break-in just yet. I haven't really done a whole lot with my steel sword. But I have tried it a bit. Felt a little restriction here and there. We're going to check it out. But really the purpose of this video is I wanted to show how these might handle on a couple different weapons of interest. Watched a few reviews on these, so I haven't seen a whole lot about like every single weapon or some other stuff. So this is just a synthetic blucher from Purple Heart. So I haven't even tried to stick this thing in here yet, but I'm actually really surprised right now. First impressions. It seems like probably better if I show this on my other hand. Yeah, it seems like my forefingers get a pretty good grip. Hold on, we're gonna have to pause. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. So it's actually surprisingly fitting inside this guard, and I believe this this guard is similar to the 1796 light cavalry saber. Like very much a similar sword between the 1811 blucher and the light cavalry saber. Stirrup hilt, I think it's called. But this is actually not a half bad synthetic. They based this synthetic off of a good example of the 1811 blucher in the Royal Armories. There's not a great deal of flex, but I just kind of used this just to start messing with sabers, see what I think about it, see what I like about it. I'm a beginner long sworder. But this actually surprisingly seems to fit this SPES glove. And wrist mobility is good in these, like as a lot of people have said, and I can say that for sure. Seems like it takes a little bit extra effort to, kind of loosen your pinky and ring finger for some of the positions, but it seems to really do the job inside of a saber like that, which is really cool. Yeah, I feel pretty confident. And with the updated thumb, I'm not too worried about taking hits on that foam material that's there now. Sorry about the camera. Yeah, it's pretty updated. What I like about some HEMA gear is that it's kind of still grassroots. Some of this gear is still really grassroots. I can see that there's like some zip ties here that they've used. I mean, if it works, I'm not tripping. Like, I'm a leather worker, so I have small criticisms of some craftsmanship. Like, there's some rivets that overlap and things like that, but they're really pretty substantial, but fits this blucher with decent wrist. I'm sure with break-in, this is not going to be a problem for me. And I was pretty worried about it because I wanted to do some sparring with these, put on some elbow guards. None of my gloves, I think, would quite do saber hit, but they probably would. I do have like rapier gloves, but I'm not sure those would be good. I don't want to take a hit to the hands. I do work with my hands, but this works. I'm actually really happy about that. Thumbs are a whole nother thing. We'll talk about that more in a sec, but as you can see, it's doing the trick here. Slipped out there. Oh no. All right. Another interesting thing, and I don't know why anyone would want to do this, but I could see it being something you might want to try if you were to get in a heated buckler, right? Sword and buckler match. I've never really seen anyone try these with this. I'm assuming it's not going to work, but you have a nice big opening on these cold steel bucklers for fitting a glove. Fucking camera. And I'm assuming that that's not going to fit. Maybe for like one position. Okay, so never mind. It's on there. As for getting the angle, I may have to be manipulating this with my thumb. Getting it straight again. Let's see. We don't want to skip ahead, but it seems like, I mean, it's in there. But obviously this big back part was keeping this from getting, you know, alongside my hand quite a bit. If I force it, there we go. So maybe if your arming sword's coming in and you can actually clash on your shield and get the right alignment, but we'll see. Now the next thing, I don't have a steel, but I do have a waster arming sword from Purple Heart. So I was able to grab it like I can imagine. Getting into like the handshake grip, we're pretty locked up. It's hard to get, well, maybe some getting used to. I know a lot of the sparring arming swords are going to have a longer grip. It's not bad though. Not quite. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely an overkill left hand for sword and buckler. Suppose you can make it work with a different buckler. And I'm sure you can custom make yourself one to work with it. Might not be a bad idea. I like the small wood ones. Those look pretty cool with the steel boss. Easy enough to make. We've been making shields lately. But onto the longsword. These are like a mainstay in longsword, of course. If you're watching this video, it's something you know. A lot of other guys have talked about it. Getting to the thumb grip is kind of weird. Taking some getting used to. It's kind of strange. I feel like in my other grips, the thumbs are the right length, or maybe even too big. And then going into thumb grip, they feel too small. So with the thumb, on these, they are adjustable. And I know a couple people in the videos haven't really mentioned that. But here, so you can see how they have this like fancier nylon material sewed to this leather actual mitten. So this elastic strap that SPES uses on everything, which if you look it up, you can get 1/8 inch elastic strap in black, round, on Etsy, eBay, if you ever lose or break any of this stuff. It's the same stuff on the knee guards, same stuff on the elbow guards. So, but these are already in the fully tight position. So they got this double knotted. If I was to do that, the actual thumb cap itself will come forward more. Could be worth trying out because I do have space here in the glove to keep the tip. My finger fits this perfectly, so when I sized these, I knew it would be good. There's definitely some risk to break in, but I don't really feel unsafe with any gaps. I did notice that if you get a bit of extension here though, I mean this leather will protect you quite a bit, and then there is padding. So there's really no gaps, there's nothing to really worry about here. And these plates are thick, nice thick material. That's not bad. And I think these are inexpensive compared to other ones out there, and they're like ready to ship. I've heard like people waiting months and months for some of these other gloves, and some stuff not even coming back after being made. And who knows, with everything going on, if some people will even make it back to production. I sure hope so. But in longsword, it's been really good, just from the little bit I've been messing with it. But I do notice I do get with my kind of straight quilling here, it does rub against this area. So when I was, making some overhouse, I was getting a little bit of clash, but not a big deal. You can still crank quite a bit with these. One theory I wanted to present about these that I haven't heard yet is that when you have both these on and you're performing Unterhau from the right, which is kind of hard to do, and I mean, naturally, your body has a hard time not making flat cuts. And a lot of times we learn to like loosen up our hand quite a bit. And I found if I do loosen up this hand a little more than I'd like to, the Unterhau drops nice and low and feels a little bit more when you're barehanding your sword. That was one thing that I was feeling kind of was locking me quite a bit. Even getting in a good hand-shaped grip, I wasn't at the top, but I was feeling some of that lock on the drop, just loosening it a bit. Well, my theory is that these, in a way, kind of correct some things. The way that if you can really get your grip on here right, the way that it kind of locks itself in seems to kind of have it right where you want it. It seems kind of suited to the sweet spots, which is nice. One thing I noticed though, that as I was starting to slide towards the pommel a bit on like faster strikes, that's simply because I got a pretty slick grip, I think. I wasn't having any slip with just like training gloves, but these are kind of a smooth material. But I like them. They kind of remind me like Ninja Turtles. But not a bad thing for what you're getting, and you are like pretty well protected. The OCD in me likes the look of sparring glove a lot better because they don't have like these elastic ties sticking out in just a couple places, but I mean, it's not really a big deal. But that is kind of the design for like the adjustability, self-repairability. If you're in HEMA and you're not fixing or modifying your gear, are you in HEMA? I'm not sure if you're in HEMA. If you aren't, so like what they did. That material for that update is serious. That shit is really a thick foam, as you can see. I know it's not the best close-up. As you can see, that is pretty thick foam. And the seams are good, like they're turned in and they don't bother my fingers a lot. But with some break-in, I'm sure these are going to be just killer. And so I'm going to try to like vow to not use any equipment unless I'm wearing them, just to get them going. Arming sword definitely is feeling kind of locked up, but I know that could just be this waster. This waster isn't exactly the longest hilt. And I know gauntlets at the period probably are a little bit smaller than these. But Purple Heart, great people, great wasters. Nothing but great things to say. But the big surprise of this is the saber. That stirrup hilt, that's exciting. That opens up a whole new world. Makes me want to get myself a steel gymnasium saber. Look out, wallet. Well, that's it. You know, Purple Heart, SPES, get them there. I deliberated quite a bit before going with these, and it wasn't to be a bandwagoner. They just really seemed to be the right way to go and not wait months on end. I plan to spar with friends as soon as everyone's willing to come out from under their rocks. So try to support, you know, local guys as much as you can. I know SPES is in Poland, I want to say, and I know they're sword makers. VB is in Hungary, but you know, they're definitely getting their markups on those things. They've stocked that stuff up. And I was definitely, and still am, paranoid about the availability of some stuff, like when production starts again. When everybody reorders and then purchases, and then when the guys who waited needed something. But when are we going to have a sparring season? Like, who knows? Because Renaissance fairs, they're all gone. Our whole year canceled. So it's a good time to train, break in gear, tech your stuff, research, do what you can, support the HEMA community. Keep up with your reenactment friends, and just try to keep everybody enthusiastic about what we do and what we love, and even if it's doing it by ourselves. And make sure to check out a lot of the YouTube videos out there. There's a lot of amazing content creators that are making just wonderful at-home HEMA drill videos for all kinds of stuff. If you're interested in Broadsword Academy, Academy of Historical Fencing. If you're into like saber, military saber, naval cutlass, he does like spadroon. Very interesting guy. I think his name is Nick. If you're trying to get your history lessons, you know, he's always Matt Easton. So it's good to check these guys out. They got a lot of great things. Keep us occupied while we're locked up. But we'll have to fight another day, and guard your hands. Not half bad. See you later.